Of course, here in South Africa, journalists who uncover potential rot in PPE tenders continue to do their jobs. In Zimbabwe, it seems they go to jail. Hopewell Chin'ono exposed an alleged procurement scandal in the health ministry in that country recently. Now he's in detention, charged with inciting public violence. Let's speak to a member of his legal team, human rights lawyer Doug Coltart. Good evening, Doug. Thanks very much for your time this evening. And I understand that there is news that Hopewell, along with Jacob Ngarivume, who is a political activist, could be moved from one prison to another in Harare. Tell us what you know.
What we know, we received some information to that effect, that this is what was going to happen. And one of the members of the legal team, Moses Nkomo, went down to Harare Remand Prison where they've been held. He was denied access to the clients, both Hopewell Chin'ono and Jacob Ngarivume. And Hopewell and Jacob were both put in leg irons and put into the prison truck to take them to Chikurubi Maximum Security Prison, which is where it seems they will be incarcerated from here on out.
Why is that significant? Is it because it's a maximum security prison? Is it very worrying, as one of his lawyers, to get this news?
It is concerning. Typically, Chikurubi maximum security is used for the most violent of criminals and for political detainees. This is the same prison where political detainees such as Pastor Ivan Mawarire, Obert Masaraure, and others have been detained over the years. It really is a symbol of the regime's oppressive mechanisms through which they crack down on any kind of dissenting voices.
You know, Zimbabwe has a constitution, I understand, that enshrines the right to protest. But at the same time, of course, there's a pandemic. And even here in South Africa, we saw in that previous clip from Kaya, protests get broken up. It's so easy in the wrong hands for a protest to be broken up and COVID to be used as a bit of a smokescreen to stop very legitimate protest. Is that what's happening in Zimbabwe? What is your understanding of why Hopewell continues to be incarcerated? For it seems, writing an article and speaking to people who are unhappy with the way corruption is manifesting in Zimbabwe. Absolutely.
So, on your point to the protests and the abuse of COVID-19 regulations, that is certainly the case. There's been a whole host of people who've been arrested in the past few days, some abducted and brutally tortured. And all of those were actually conducted within COVID-19, the boundaries of COVID-19 regulations. These were protests of one or two individuals by themselves, dispersed, wearing masks. And so it really is just being used as an excuse to crack down on people exercising their rights. As to Hopewell, it's very clear that this is all about his work as a journalist and exposing corruption. Hopewell Chin'ono and Nduduzi Matutu are the two journalists who were at the forefront of exposing a corruption scandal, around $60 million worth of COVID-19 response funds that were looted by senior government officials, implicating even the president and the first family. Hopewell has been incarcerated, and Nduduzi is in hiding, and his nephew was abducted and brutally tortured last week.
You know, we also know that there are two envoys leaving from South Africa, Sydney Mufamadi, who's been in Zimbabwe before, and Baleka Mbete. They're going to engage with government. We also know there's a great deal of international attention, a lot of stories being written globally. Do you have much hope of the South African delegation getting anything more than an audience with the president and being told that these are difficult people who are causing trouble?
Well, South Africa taking a proactive stance towards Zimbabwe is certainly a positive move. and the comments from the ANC Secretary General saying Zimbabwean lives matter is also a positive move. However, there is a lot of concern and skepticism, especially given South Africa's history in Zimbabwe during the Mbeki and Mugabe eras, that this will just be another means to prop up an oppressive regime, the old boys club coming to each other's aid. So that is the concern among a lot of Zimbabweans, and certainly we hope to be proven wrong. But given the track record of the two members of the envoy, we do remain very concerned.
Well, thank you very much for your information this evening. Doug Coltart, human rights lawyer in Zimbabwe, part of jailed Hopewell Chin'ono's legal team, telling us that Hopewell Chin'ono, along with political activist Jacob Ngarivume, just been transferred this evening to Chikurubi Maximum Security Prison in Harare.